I'm filming this video from the UK, and the reason I'm filming it is because there seems to be a lot of confusion and a lot of different ways when it comes to framing out a shipping container. Do you screw through the walls? Do you not? Do you screw into the floor? How deep do you do your framework? All sorts of questions that I myself came across, so hopefully by making this video I'll be able to clear a few things up. What I've done is I have built 4 freestanding stud works, put them on each side of the container. Before making them, ensure to leave enough of a space in order to sit the roof joists on top. They have then been screwed in to the floor of the container, and in order to keep them apart, because of freestanding, that is where your roof joists come into play. As you can see there, the roof beam's fixed, then as you can see there, the roof beam's fixed. So if your 2 walls like that, and your roof beam in between stops the walls coming in on each other. The 2 walls, roof beam, and the roof beam stops them coming in. This is how I framed out the container in the corners. I've just had to notch out the frame in order to accommodate for lifting points on each corner. And you might be wondering what this little block of wood is here for. This way the walls are spread apart with the roof beams, however on this side there is no roof beams, which is why I've used that block of wood, and that just stops this frame coming that way. Another issue that I ran into, or when I was researching found a lack of information, was how to frame the doors out. Well, your container doors are made of box section rectangle, and you've got all this cladding in the middle. So what I've done is I've put these 2 beams and I've used Tech screws to go into the box section, and then I've got 3 horizontal battens going across, which is going to provide a place to fix the plywood to. Now you'll see this bit of timber here which spans across the entire length of the doors, and in order to achieve that I've had to put an extra beam in there, which I ripped down on the circular saw, otherwise it'd have been too big and the doors wouldn't have been able to close. So I've put the extra beam in there, and that just essentially provides almost like a lintel. You've got an opening, it's basically a lintel, but a wooden lintel, and that's just providing a place in order to me to just fasten each roof beam to. Works well. And what I've done between that beam and between the top of the door, I've left around 25-30mm, because I know eventually the roof is going to sag. So the last thing I want is to be trying to open the doors and they're not opening and I can't get in. So now in terms of noggins, not really essential. They do add a lot of strength to your walls, and they keep these uprights parallel and spread apart. I would recommend putting them in if you can afford the extra bit of wood. It's also going to provide you a much better fixing for your plasterboard or your plywood or OSB, however you're going to board it out or clad it out. You've got that extra bit of material to fix into. Now if you wasn't to put them in and you was to use plasterboard, then quite possibly you're going to get splits appearing down your plasterboard. You want to make sure any board you put on is very well supported, especially if it's going to be used as a home office or for a cafe, a coffee shop, anything like that. You want to make sure that them boards you're putting on are going to be supported. However, if you're going to be using it for storage, I wouldn't bother with noggins. It's save yourself some material and time and screws. Don't bother with them. If you're just going to insulate it and board it out,